back. They say necessity is the mother of invention, and you're about to meet a mother who's proof of that. Alana Bazard's son Jonas is autistic. She sees the world differently to most, and his mum wanted him to have tools to help him thrive. Here's Carolyn Robinson.
Winning your battles is so much easier when you're not also fighting your clothes.
Clothing is notoriously a problem for kids with sensory processing issues. Well, most kids actually don't like tags, and you get some of the tags in some of the shops and they're this long, and it's like, oh, that's ridiculous.
Jonas is 9, practically 10, he says.
Jonas was like a perfectly kind of happy baby, just a normal baby, but he didn't talk. So, like, I was starting to think, oh, something might be up with this little dude, you know, like getting to sort of 2.5, not really saying much, never like the babble, like mum, 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 dad, dad, dad wasn't there, and the tantrums. Now, of course, I know they were meltdowns. I remember ringing Plunkett and they're like, look, 4 to 5 tantrums a day, it's normal. I'm like, no, 25. Yeah, so that's when we took him and we got him assessed, and they said autism.
So began the task of smoothing the sensory road.
He's a stylish little dude. He doesn't want to look uncool or anything like that. He doesn't actually want to look different. So I was looking for products in New Zealand online, couldn't hardly find anything, and then went overseas. You'd have to pay a lot of shipping, and it still wasn't cool.
So this deeply cool mum decided to create her own, designing products to pacify with a side order of pizzazz. It was just a little idea until the boxes arrived.
They just kept coming.
Sensory Sam clothes have tags, seams and pockets on the outside.
Something that's just as simple as a raised seam inside can feel like a cactus to these kids. It can just totally ruin your morning. You might not even end up making it to school.
And here's something to get your teeth into.
The chewing, it's like biting your nails, and they call it a stim. So stimming is what autistic kids do, but also what everybody does. It's like a repetitive behaviour that helps you kind of self-regulate and calm.
There are earmuffs to soften the world's soundtrack. When you want to hide away, there's a body sock. And for nighttime, weighted blankets full of tiny glass beads.
It's called deep pressure touch, which is just like getting a hug, really. Just feeling kind of contained, or wearing like compression clothing. A lot of kids on the spectrum, they like putting lots and lots of pillows all over themselves or hiding in small spaces. They like feeling secure.
Alana's had to find manufacturers, translators, quality control people. It's a lot of work for someone who also has a busy day job as a TV editor for shows like Fresh Eggs.
It's pretty clever. You know, there's a saying which is, I don't want to turn an autistic person into a non-autistic person, I just want to turn them into an autistic person who doesn't struggle. I saw an old guy walking down the road, I assume he was autistic, just the other day, flapping his hands, flapping away. It just made me smile so much, because it's a happy thing. It's just like seeing someone with a big smile or laughing. It's a cool thing. Speaking
of cool, Jonas must be beyond impressed at his mother of invention.
Nah, he's getting to that age where I'm not really cool anymore, so. Am I cool?
No, you're not cool.
See?
That was a no.
You know what? The amazing thing about these weighted blankets is that there is a lot of research that suggests they're good for everybody. So they can help you sleep, because it really is so snug and secure. And they say it is like having a hug. And Jeremy, as I sit here alone on the couch without you, I have to admit, I am missing you a little bit. And so it just feels like, you know, just a little snuggly hug from the Jeremy Meister.
No, I miss you. I miss you as well, Hilary. And speaking of comfort and comfort food,